It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. In the news, Wayne County Commissioners are set to meet for the first time in the year 2024 this evening. Their meeting gets underway at 6 p.m. at the County Commissioners meeting room. On the agenda under their old business, Heart of Georgia Altamar Regional Commission third-party appointment. Under new business, consider and approve changing the date for September meeting due to the Labor Day holiday. Consider and approve a resolution to apply for 2024 Community Development Block Grant. Consider and approve bids for real estate, and appoint two commissioners to discuss city-county agreement and contracts. Also, consider and approve lawn care agreement, and consider and approve health insurance renewal. Another board appointment on the agenda, Board of Health, items with the administrator, items with the county clerk. County Commissioners items, executive session on the agenda this afternoon for personnel and pending litigation. All that taking place today at 6 p.m. at the County Commissioners meeting room. Have a full report for you tomorrow here on the local news. Big event taking place tomorrow at Wayne County High School. State School Superintendent Richard Woods will be visiting Wayne County High School. There will be a special assembly at the high school auditorium. WIFO FM will be on hand, bringing us comments on Wednesday's newscast. Again, the event gets underway tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at the high school. The Board of Education's work session board meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Here's a look at that agenda. Under items of business, strategic planning, progress monitoring, capital outlay project update, financial report, also budgeting process for the year fiscal year 25. Bonus issued by Governor Kemp. Dr. Kelly and the board will discuss that. Also an executive session. All that taking place tomorrow afternoon at 6 p.m. City Commissioners met last Thursday. We'll come back, take a look more at that meeting right after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. City of Jesup Commissioners met Thursday, and at that meeting, the council voted 4-3 with Mayor Ralph Hickox casting the decisive vote to remove City Manager Rose Marcus from that position. They also voted 5-1 with Council Member Mike Deal voting no to appoint Jesup Police Officer Nick Ellis as the interim city manager. On the removal of Rose Marcus, the three new council members voted for her removal, with Commissioner Jonathan McCullough making the motion, seconded by Mike Deal. They, along with Perry Morgan, vote yes. Council members Bill Harvey, Tim Caulfield, and Pam Schumann voted no, making it another 3-3 tie, giving the mayor the tie-breaking vote. And Ralph Hickox City was voting yes, stating in an interview with WIFO-FM that he felt the city needed to move in a new direction. Another key topic at the Thursday meeting was the ladder truck, which has been on the agenda for several meetings. The debate whether to send the payment up front to Fireline, who the city is purchasing the truck from, or to keep the money locally and put in a CD at a local bank. The fear of giving the money to a company up front, warned by former Commissioner Joe Roddy and echoed by City Attorney Michael Connor Thursday night. If the company goes bankrupt, which many companies do, you're simply out of your money. So Thursday, Pam Schumann made a motion. The council voted 5-1 to put the money in a 12-month CD with First Horizon Bank. Commissioner Tim Caulfield voted no. Today we hear that conversation about the ladder truck as City Commissioner Mike Deal, not sold on spending that kind of money on a vehicle that might be used once or twice a year, began the conversation.
Probably 75 to 80% of the people that I talked to was against the purchase of $1.5 million truck when we have a lot of other interest in the city that we need to spend money on. So I'm not sold on the idea we need it. It would be good to have, I understand that. But if we're gonna use it twice a year, and Huntsville, Liberty County used theirs 4 times last year, that's what I'm told. I can't swear to that because I wasn't there. But I think we need to talk about this.
That would be a different discussion though, actually, because this discussion on the table, the motion and second is for putting the money in that fund. If canceling the truck's what you want to do, that would be a separate item, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think we need to discuss. You're convinced now, vote for it. You can.
Any more discussion on that?
I want to say something as well. A few meetings ago, this truck has already been on the table. It has already been approved to be purchased. It's already been ordered. So we're past that right now, Commissioner Deal, of if we're going to order the truck or not. I believe that's gone. What we're trying to do now is figure out, do we need to pay the bill up front and go ahead and give them the almost $2 million, or if we need to keep the money in-house and make more money on top of that, so that we will have extra monies to do other things with. So I think that's where we are now, of making more money, to have more money to do more things, because rather not we're getting the truck, I really believe that's behind us at this point, because the truck has been ordered.
Mr. Caulfield?
Yeah, I'll go back to what we said
Go ahead.
at the last meeting or the meeting before that. I expressed my concern that just this very thing would happen. I think everybody was in agreement at that time that, oh, no, this won't happen, you know. Well, what I said was going to happen is happening right now as we speak. That ladder truck's getting canceled. It's going to be canceled before it's over, not with my vote.
Mr. Coughlin, we're not voting on that right now, we're voting on.
Hey, it's my time to have discussion.
Yes, but can you stick to the subject?
This is the subject. The subject's the fire truck. There again, we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to do anything. This should have been paid for several months back. The only reason to postpone it, the only reason not to prepay for the truck, let me refresh people's memories. The last 2 fire engines, we did this without any problem. The only reason there's a problem now, the money is basically a wash between how much interest we're going to get out of First Horizon and how much interest we're going to get out of Fireline. The money is basically a wash. It's being secured either way. And so the only reason not to prepay it is in a veiled attempt not to buy this ladder truck. Now, any of the constituents out there, I think we need to hear from the ISO man. This ladder truck, I mean, we can get the chief up here and he can talk to us an hour about why we need this truck. And this truck should have been bought a long time ago. This is our opportunity to buy the truck. But doing it, with all due respect, the way Commissioner Schuman suggested with First Horizon, what's going to end up happening, I believe, is the truck's going to be canceled and the money will be diverted to some other SPLOST thing. And if we don't buy this ladder truck now under SPLOST, it's never going to get bought. We're never going to be able to afford to do it. I would just urge everybody, if you want the ladder truck, then we need to vote against this and we need to go ahead and prepay Fireline for the truck.
Commissioner Cockfield has been adamant that the fire truck will not be purchased. He says that is the beginning of the end Thursday evening. Pamela Schuman says the truck has already been ordered and will be purchased. She says she's just simply looking after the best interest of taxpayers' money. Once again, the vote 5-1 to put the money on a 12-month CD with a local bank, First Horizon. We'll come back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final note in news, Chamber of Commerce held its annual Eggs and Issues breakfast this past Thursday. On hand were guest speakers, our local representatives. On Friday's newscast, we heard from State Senator Blake Tillery. Today we'll hear from State Representative Buddy DeLoach as all 3 men preview the Georgia legislative session, which gets underway today at the Georgia Dome. Here was our conversation Thursday morning with State Representative Buddy DeLoach.
Buddy DeLoach, Eggs and Issues breakfast. Everybody wants to know what's going to go on with the legislative session. What can we expect going to take place in Atlanta?
Well, as you know, in an election year, there'll be an awful lot of bills that show up that people know are not going anywhere, but they'll use that in their campaign. That they sponsor bills and a lot of feel-good stuff, and that may stop up the process a little bit. But we are going to work on some law and order legislation. We're going to work on something to try to deal with the ugly anti-Semitism that's spread all over our state now, and it's a frightening thing.
You talked about today at the Eggs and Issues, you said you got some neighbors that are Jewish that their children are going through this. And
yes.
You said you never thought you'd see this in America.
Never dreamed. Never dreamed. And we've actually got people that come and testify before our committees in the House, and they deny that the Holocaust ever happened, even though we still have people that live among us that were present and were there and liberated some of those people. So it's an unusual time, and I don't try to place blame, but I know one thing. If you're in this country, I don't care where you came from or what your beliefs are, except I think that you need to come here with the intent of being an American and adopting to our culture and our ways of life rather than trying to convert us to be like where you came from.
mentioned voter integrity, confidence in elections. You state that, no one can find anything that went wrong, no matter how many times they tested, but people still have doubts. But you said that's one thing that Georgia legislature would like to see is more confidence, that give more confidence to people that the elections are fair and stand on its own.
Yes, and I think that's one thing about that QR code that people complain about. If we spent the money and bought the equipment so we can eliminate the QR code and simply let the scanner read the actual names that are on the ballot, it will make your ballot appear a little more complicated on that screen. But once people get accustomed to it, I don't think that'll be a problem. But I do think that we can count on our elections being honest and your vote being counted the way you intended for it to be counted. And you just need to be careful. We print a ballot you can look at so you know who you're voting for. We need to encourage everybody to take time before they put it in the scanner to actually look at it.
Safe travels to Atlanta. We look forward to talking to you during the session.
Thank you.
Once again, those comments are Representative Buddy Deloach. Once again, the legislative session underway today in Atlanta. Tomorrow we'll hear from State Representative Stephen Meeks. That's going to do it for the latest in local news. Bob Morgan saying have a great day.